So, this is episode 7 of Gymwear Live. We're here with Bradley, who's a bodybuilder. We're going to be walking through a few questions, what it's like to be a bodybuilder, how it affects your day-to-day life, and just the ins and outs.
Bradley's just competed in his second competition and came first place.
Yep.
So he's bringing a lot to the table. Definitely one to listen to. Longer one than normal. We've been trying to get a longer one.
Yeah.
It's just never worked out. You'll get some tips. Going to go through everything: training, work, the stress competing puts on your relationship. So yeah, make sure you're tuning to this one. Listen carefully.
We'll start off talking about kind of how you got into fitness. Brad's a bodybuilder. So what kind of, that initial drive, what kind of got you in?
To bodybuilding itself?
No, just kind of like just in the gym.
Just into your fitness.
Right, cool. So I was always a fairly sporty kid, to be fair. From the age of 5, I was a footballer. Found rugby around about the age of 10 or 11. Done both for quite a while, and then transitioned into a bit more serious when I got selected for a scholarship with rugby.
Oh yeah.
I started training in the gym probably around the age of 13, 14. Nothing obviously serious. I didn't know what I was doing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like trying, like you do
Just
as a young lad, just try to get in there. Fortunately enough, one of my good family friends, he's a bodybuilder, so my friend's dad.
Okay.
He's a bodybuilder. So we used to go down to the gym with him a few times.
So good inspiration.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you're looking up to.
So we went in with him a few times, and like I said, I just nipped down to the gym a few times a week, just kind of throwing them about, kind of hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Chest day and hand day all the time.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, as rugby got a bit more serious, I think I played for the scholarship for 2 years, 13, 14, 15. I was when I played for the scholarship with Wigan Warriors.
Okay. Sweet.
And obviously the gym became more apparent and more consistent then. After the scholarship, I started playing for the academy, which is a professional contract. And again, just got more and more serious from there. Obviously, I found the love for the gym when I was playing rugby. That was one of the things that I enjoyed the most about rugby. And then when I stopped playing rugby, my contract ended. They weren't going to renew it at Wigan. I got a couple of offers off other clubs, a couple of local clubs. I got offered off of clubs, Swinton Lions, work in town where I'm from,
right,
originally, and got a team down in Coventry actually. But I made the decision to kind of step away from rugby just because I kind of fell out of love with playing.
Yeah.
And that was what kind of steered me off to the side in terms of the gym. I kind of put more effort into that.
I was pretty similar to that, to be fair, because the difference between rugby when you're 12 and then when you start getting higher up, everyone kind of balances out. Because I don't know about you, I started off, I was pretty much bigger than everyone else.
Yeah.
Just bullying my way through.
Yeah. And
then as soon as it started becoming a lot more about the centres and the wingers and all that stuff, and I started losing out on glory, I was just like a workhorse. I just stopped, and then I just went to the gym pretty much.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think I was when I was younger, at 12, 13, I was always, like you say, probably head and shoulders above everyone else. I kind of just fell into it, and luckily I just had a bit of a natural talent for it.
Being that build, is that why you think you suited rugby more than football?
Yeah, I was always, to be fair, I was never the biggest guy. I was never like huge. I'm not massively tall. I think I'm only just short of 6 foot. But I was always fairly balanced. I was always fairly agile as well. So like I say, in amateur level, I found it fairly easy. And like you say, I think I was playing loose forward at the time, maybe back row.
Yeah.
Getting a bit of glory, scoring the tries here, then everywhere, and then as you get higher level, county level,
you're just about peeping out the rock as you see someone else score
a
try.
Yeah. And luckily I did play for England when I was 16 as well. Okay. But I think what more so steered me away from it was the fact that it became more of a job than enjoyment. And that's what again steered me into the gym. It was all about me just doing something that I enjoyed rather than something that I was kind of forced. I felt like I was forced to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was all about, that was my dream. I wanted to be a rugby player. That was like any boy's dream, really, any young lad's dream. You want to be a professional sports player, don't you? Or something stupid like an astronaut or whatever.
Grow up wanting to be a footballer.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It was just like something that's just ridiculously, or what you would think would be ridiculously unattainable. But when it became kind of a reality for me, At the beginning, it was great, and as it became more serious, unfortunately, my love for it just dropped.
Right.
And obviously, I didn't expect that to happen, but it is what it is, and I'm glad it did, because I found what I do now.
Instead of forcing real.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. For quite a while, even through my sport, even through the professional side of it, I spent quite a while questioning whether it was what I wanted to do. And when the opportunity did come around that my contract did end, should I kind of playing the question in my head, do I take the opportunity that I've been given, considering the fact that I've been given a talent that should I make use of it?
Yeah.
Or should I do what's right for myself and take a step back and admit that I don't enjoy it?
Must have taken quite a lot for that, because considering you would have been in the 1% of people who were in that opportunity to get offered that, to then realise and know you're not fully invested in it, to take a step back.
Yeah, I think
that takes a lot.
Yeah, I think luckily, obviously, I had a bit of a given talent for it, but obviously I'd worked hard for that, and seeing my parents and everyone else kind of sacrifice their lives to help me pursue it. It was hard when it came to the decision to kind of let it go, because I always had in the back of my mind, am I disappointing people? Have I wasted other people's time and money, really, helping me pursue that? So, but my parents have always been good at understanding in that sense. They've always pushed me to do what I wanted to do, and they've always wanted me to be happy and respected, whether they 100% agree with me all the time or not.
Always supported you in your decisions.
They've always accepted my decisions and understood that I've always wanted to do what's made me happy at the end of the day, and which I thank them for. So it was, yeah, and in the end it ended up all right.
Exactly. It's turned out. So for people who don't know you, what are you up to now? What is the Bradley that we've got here today?
Yeah, so obviously I went to university throughout my time at Wigan. I'd done 2 years at Edge Hill University in Ormskirk, just outside Liverpool. I'd done a degree in sport and physical education, so I'm not a qualified teacher, but my degree is in teaching.
Okay.
If I wanted to be a teacher, I'd have to do the extra year at university to get the PGCE, or do a year's worth of schools direct, which is basically like the teaching qualification while you work. Like I say, as I fell out of rugby, I did progress down the gym route. I was training all the time, and I was loving that. And
just getting in shape, seeing the results.
Yeah, just enjoying the process really of just, like I said, just training for the fun of it and enjoying what I was doing. So I had the idea that I thought, well, why don't I put to use my experience of being a rugby player and pursue a personal training course as well on the side, because I'd done that besides my university. You can pay for a qualification, so I'd done that on the side, online.
So how many years ago is this?
I'm 23 now, so I probably started the qualification quite a few years ago, but it was one of them that you can do online aside whatever you're doing at the time, and you can just take as long as you want to do it.
Right.
So I've been personal training full time now since 2018, so just 12 months. But so that was what I'd done. I was at university, I finished my university, I'd done my personal training qualification, and I'm now a bodybuilder as well. I've been doing that for 12 months.
Where's the trophy? Get it on the table.
Go on.
Keep it on.
Keep it on.
Keep it on, yeah. Where's it good for the mic? Anywhere?
Yeah, it's alright.
Look at that. So tell us about this competition.
So recently, around about 4 weeks ago, I competed in my first Classic Physique competition. I competed 12 months ago actually. My first time was a body part 2018. I competed in men's physique.
All right, okay.
Originally the idea was that with being a personal trainer, I wanted to be able to give off the idea that I could do my job basically. Obviously, I believe, obviously, within reason, if you have the knowledge, you have the knowledge, but I think I
completely get it.
As a face value, if you look good, it looks better than if you don't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been saying that to you. When I walked in the gym as like a 14-year-old, we had these two absolute monsters.
Yeah.
looking up to them, you're like, oh shit, I want to look like them.
Is that
Yeah,
Alex
definitely.
Stevenson?
Alex Stevens and Mikey, you just saw them and they were fucking animals.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Whereas
right.
now you kind of walk in a gym and sometimes you're like, oh, well, I could be training you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's what I mean. So it's like, at first value, the first thing you see is someone's physique at the end of the day. If you don't really want an overweight PT, do you know what I mean? No one's going to go for
You
an
see it
overweight
though.
PT. You do.
Yeah.
You
You
do.
see it.
You do. And I mean, no disrespect, if you have the knowledge, then you have the knowledge. At the end of the day, if you can show someone and tell someone how to do it, then you could probably get just as equally as good, if not better results as someone who looks good but might not have the knowledge. But at face value, in terms of marketing, you want to be able to
It'll
like,
come down
present.
to it as well. Like someone say, well, it's not that easy because you're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Say,
what I mean.
fuck you, I'm doing it. I just want a competition.
That's one thing that I always kind of push on my Instagram as well, like trying to like practice what you preach, you know what I mean? Like if people can see, or I'm preaching, like, right, no excuses, you do what I say to do, this is what will happen. If I was doing that but I hadn't proved to people that I can do it myself, you're just trying to be like, well,
He's not even doing it.
he's not even doing it, so
Get it.
like the respect level will be a lot better or higher if they know that you've done it yourself, if you know what I mean.
And still working while doing it.
Yeah, 100%. So that was the original idea behind why I wanted to compete. To be honest, it was part and part. I wanted to do it as a personal challenge, and also a business move as well. So obviously, like being a rugby player as well, being at a high level, and like I said before, I've always kind of had ridiculous dreams of like doing stuff that isn't necessarily what a normal person would aspire to do. Going from being a pro rugby player for 5 years and having like this
It's that mentality though.
mentality drilled into you, and it makes you a certain type of person.
Not being average.
Yeah, I don't want to say being normal is bad because it's not, but my aspirations are bigger than that. If that makes if that's the right thing to say.
And that's all well and good having them aspirations, but you've got to match it with your work rate, which is what you've done.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like
you can dream big, but if you're not putting in the work, you're not going to get there.
Yeah. I was kind of bored of when I stopped playing rugby. I was kind of bored of just being normal. I actually went back to working in a factory.
Right.
And I took a year off uni, and I was earning decent money, but I was bored. Yeah, I was just normal. I was just a normal person, and it wasn't what I was used to. And it was like I wanted to give myself that challenge to kind of prove to myself that I could do it.
Some people are finding it, but I know if I had to work a normal job, it'd kill me.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Just
Whatever you want to do.
Drain the life out of you.
Do whatever you want to do, but for me, like, I just wanted a little bit more. So, and obviously I done the men's physique competition in body power last year. I didn't place very well. I was kind of out of my. I was in the wrong category, put it that way.
Right.
But I didn't place. But it got my foot in the doorway for competing, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy being on stage. I did enjoy the process. As hard as prep is, it's always hard for the 8, 12, 16, 20 weeks or whatever it is you prep, and then as soon as it's over, you kind of think like it's all worth it. Even though I didn't place, I still felt like it was worth it. And that just kind of instilled in me next time round. It kind of made me realise that I was in the wrong category. It set new goals for me. It made me realise that I did want to do it again. I told myself that I wanted to take time off bodybuilding to try and grow a little bit more.
Yeah, but you kept going. You didn't just stop. You didn't go,
No,
fuck, I've not placed, that's it. I'm not never doing it again.
It kind of made me more determined in a sense. For the first few weeks, I did take a little bit of relaxation time to get away from it. With it being my first competition, I was kind of like, right, I'm ready for a rest now.
Yeah.
But like after that, I did kind of hit back to the gym, trying to get back into it. I told myself that I was going to take 12 months off to grow and whatnot.
That didn't go to plan, did it?
No. I got the itch. I started seeing, you probably see people on Instagram all the time putting stuff on, like people competing, people placing, all that kind of thing, and seeing people
we see it
compete
all.
or whatnot.
Everyone's doing something.
And it gave me an itch to get back on stage, so I was like, I'm getting back on. But like I say, I'd done it in a different category this time round. The classic physique category was on the rise, still fairly new. And I want to give this one a go because that was the one that I liked the look of. And yeah, it paid off in the end.
So about the competition, whereabouts was it?
Yeah, Southport Arena. It's not Southport Arena, Southport Theatre, sorry. Down on the waterfront. So it was a nice venue, to be fair.
Was it?
Yeah, good man. Not too far, it was ideal. Like I said, it was only
An hour away, ain't it?
Yeah, 45 minute drive. So it's good.
So you say you're working in the factory. How long? And then you decided you wanted to compete. Is it literally a 12-month process? If you put the hours in, you can get from working in a factory, no ideas of competing, to on stage. If you put the work in, do you reckon it's like 12 months to get to that point?
I think anyone can compete. With you, obviously within reason. If you're like 30 stone, then
it's going to be a lot longer than 12 months.
It's like realistically, depending on what your goal is. If your goal is to just get on stage, then I think anyone can do it. At the end of the day, you don't have to be in shape to get on stage. You can get on stage out of shape if you want to.
Just go.
Yeah, but
pay your membership.
So how did you know that you were trying to get on stage? You have like a coach or?
Yeah. So it was like, that's the thing. It was like, it depends on what category you want to compete in as well. So it's like I stepped on stage and I would say I was a lot smaller than I was now. But it took me 16 weeks to get in condition shape, in competition shape. So I think if you have the mindset for it and you can do it, just have the mindset of just getting the job done no matter what, you're willing to suffer for it, then you can do it. Anyone can do it. But again, like I said, just it depends on the. You have to be realistic in a sense. If you aim to win and you've never done it before, unless you're a genetic freak, the chances are you're probably not going to do that great. It's depending on where you're coming from. If you're in a decent, if you didn't say you're 30
You've got a good base.
Yeah, if you've got a good foundation anyway, you've been training for years, and you just fancy you go on stage and you already look good, then yeah, you can get in shape in 8 weeks if you want to. But I think again that's the thing with bodybuilding, the thing with fitness, the thing in dieting in general. It's all person dependent. People have different genetics. It might be easier for me to get in shape than it would be for you to get in shape. It might be easier for you to get in shape than it would be for me. Me personally, I can gain weight quite easily. In fact, probably too easily.
I'm the complete opposite.
And yeah, so I mean, and the other way around, it does require me to go to quite dark places in terms of like 0 carb days with hours of cardio to get in show shape. Whereas there is people that can prep and do 0 cardio.
Just focus on the diet.
Just focus on diet. Some people just have that ridiculous metabolism that can just. They're just shreds fat.
Yeah.
You can stay in, they can eat Snickers bars and unlimited amounts of cereal and stuff all year round and just not put a pound of fat on.
No,
just the way it is.
So you said to us when we were chatting before that you're going on your first kind of proper off season now to like pack on like some size. What's your kind of plan been up to this point? Like what's your training been? What's your kind of on and off?
Yeah, how would the difference between your on and off season?
Right.
What's your personal difference? Because obviously,
I've
going to range quite a bit.
For the past 2 years, I have had a coach tell me what to do. Although I probably could do it myself, but unless you've experienced the prep, you probably don't understand how hard it is mentally. Physically, I can go all day long, but mentally, it does become quite taxing. And it was easier for me, and I thought it would make more sense to have someone tell me what to do, so I didn't have to stress about it.
Yeah.
So up until this point, for the past 12 months, I have had 2 different coaches with 2 completely different methods. But the basics of it is basically in a simple form. When you're dieting for a show, food stays nice and high at the beginning, cardio stays nice and low, and then progressively, what we would do is we'd check in with my coach every week, see where we're at in terms of progress. And he would make adjustments accordingly to how I was looking at the time. If we're talking about in terms of like on average, usually it would be a decrease in food or an increase in output. It usually balances itself out across the 16 weeks.
Is that the standard time? 16 weeks prep.
Again, it's going to depend on
how well
you stay in shape throughout the off season. For me, I've always done long preps. It was 16 weeks and 20 weeks because I've let myself get out of shape.
Right.
But like I say, I'm still new to it, and this time around I don't intend on doing that. For the past 4 weeks I haven't had a coach, and I've just tried to keep my output nice and high. So I've been keeping my cardio in at like 30 minutes on a training day, 45 minutes on a rest day. Train 4 times a week. With push-pull leg split at the minute. because I'm not competing, I am pushing for PBs at the minute as well. Trying again, just make use of the food
Just
that I'm
enjoying
putting
it.
in. Yeah, just kind of
Back
being a
to
bit more
enjoying the gym.
relaxed. Yeah, being a bit more relaxed with it. Calories are nice and high again, around about 3,000, 2,000 on rest day, 3,000 on training day. So just making use of that food. Do feel a lot better in myself, but also just trying to maintain a little bit of condition through the next few weeks. So I do go on holiday in 6 weeks.
So obviously vanity reasons, everyone wants to look good.
Yeah,
That's
no, that's what I
everyone goes to the
mean.
gym,
Like,
isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
No
Like,
one's gonna say you want to look good. That's it.
yeah, of course it is. That's what I mean. Like, I prep now, so it's a lot less strict than what it was. But at the end of the day, I don't want to go on holiday and look fat. So for the next few weeks, trying to keep it under control while enjoying it, while putting a focus on my business, not letting it get too out of hand. For the next few weeks, I'll probably just increase cardio again if I need to, without
Don't worry too
really
much
suffering,
about it. It's
without
not a comp
suffering.
prep, is
Yeah,
it?
exactly, without suffering too much. And then after that, I'll transition into an off-season phase. Whether I get a coach or not is still undecided. It'll depend on where I think my head's at, whether I need the guidance or not. I've no doubt in my mind that I can do it myself. But like I say, going back to that point of, would I like to just reduce that stress of having to worry about it? I have no problem, like, as a coach myself, looking after other people. But because I like to put a lot of attention on that, if I can remove the stress of looking after myself as well and let someone else do it, it makes that easier for me.
Yeah. I think that speaks quite a lot as well, though. If you're offering a coaching service and then you're also going with a coach, it just speaks on how much people do need it.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people will, even people that think they know a lot, will learn a lot from having a coach. And even if it's just for like 8, 12, 16 weeks or whatever it is, you'll gain a lot of knowledge from that, and you can go ahead and then put that into use for the next however many years. So I definitely advise someone, if you are looking to get in better shape, to get a coach.
When looking for a coach, what would you think? Because if you scroll down Instagram, everyone's a coach.
Yeah.
Everyone's selling a program.
Yeah, 100%.
So what are you looking for when you pick your coach?
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
Results at the end of the day for me. Over the past 12 months, I've had 2 good coaches, 2 high-level coaches as well, in Jamie DeRigo and Jordan Peters. Both well established in the industry. But that was me looking to get in prep condition. I went with the big guys. I paid a little bit extra money just so that I can get in shape. That's the end of the day, and it worked. But someone on a general level just trying to get in shape, I would suggest going with someone that's not going to break the bank, for one, because at the end of the day, you getting in shape doesn't pay the bills. It's only going to make the bills harder. 2, someone that you can talk to and have a relationship with, really. That's one thing that I kind of try and push with my online coaching. I try and build a relationship with my clients and try and get them to understand my reasoning for doing things, but also try and understand their individual needs. The difference with being a prep coach and being with the guys like JP and Jamie DeRigo is what they say goes, and that's what you need as a prep. If you're in a prep, for me personally, I wanted just someone to tell me what to do, and I just do it. But again, with that comes with the fact that the 2 high-profile guys, they are very busy in a sense, and they both have hundreds of clients. So you don't have that personal relationship, so you say.
Would you say you don't get that one-on-one time?
No, you definitely don't get that one-on-one time. Don't get me wrong. They give you what you need, and that's it.
If it's an ongoing relationship, though, if you are having a year-round coach, you would. Yeah. I would want that one-on-one.
Yeah, of course, and I think that's what you've got to look at when you decide on which coach you want to go with. I knew from the beginning, before I even went with JP, that he wasn't going to give me a massive amount of attention because of who he is. He's got a supplement business to run. He's got an online coaching business to run. He's got his membership site to run. He's got his own bodybuilding career to worry about. So I always knew that it was never going to be, I can text him whatever I want any day and night. You know what I mean? It was never going to be that. So I understood that. So I would never hold that against him, because at the end of the day, that isn't what I went for him for. But like I say, on a general level, I would go for someone that, one, can get results, but also you can build a relationship with, and someone you can talk to and basically get a little bit of education from as well.
It's all about learning.
Yeah, definitely.
We talked about PBs just then.
Yeah.
Where we at?
I don't really do 1 rep maxes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, I don't really push that far. I actually found out I've got scoliosis yesterday.
Oh fuck.
But I've always had bad back problems, to be honest with you. I just kind of push through it.
Right.
But yeah, at the minute, coming off the back of prep 3 weeks ago, I hit PB on back squat for 180 for 6, I think it was.
Okay.
But bench press, to be honest with you, I've got a bit of a dicky shoulder, to be honest, as well. So I don't really push too hard. It's a matter of finding what works for you, really, with your training. I kind of bring intensity through, but be sensible at the same time. I don't really try and ego lift and do like 1 rep maxes, because I don't think my body would cope with it very well.
Types of training as well, though. If you're hitting them 6 reps, you're getting the muscle growth where
100%.
you're only building strength.
Yeah,
1 rep max.
100%. That's what I mean. It's like I think I tend to stick between 6 and 12, to be honest.
Always between them ranges.
Usually, the odd 15 reps set, but like
is that
usually
the same on and off season?
Yeah, I train and intend to carry on training the way that JP taught me to train. I think it worked best for my physique. Jamie and Jordan both had different approaches. Jamie was very high volume, high set amounts, high rep amounts, a lot of blood flow work, all that kind of thing. JP was very low volume and aiming to hit PBs even through prep.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I think that I actually grew more than I've ever grew in a deficit than I ever have before. The first few months of my prep, I got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I think that's why I'm hitting PBs already. Like my all-time PBs are being hit already because my strength didn't dip, because I was always pushing for PBs through prep.
Just following this program.
Yeah, it takes quite a lot of bottle, because when you have zero energy and you have, quite frankly, no motivation on some days, you can't be bothered to go to the gym. It's hard to get under a bar and squat to your absolute max.
Yeah.
It's easy to back off, but at the end of the day, like, I came on with that first place trophy, and I credit that win to that, in a sense. But yeah, so for the next few weeks, my training won't really change much. I've changed a few movements, a few different movements in there, changed my plan up a little bit, but the basis is still the same. Just try and increase and logbook everything, try and get stronger week by week. If anything plateaus or kind of hits a sticking point, I'll move to a similar movement, but just a different variation.
Yeah, you just mentioned about logbooking. How important would you say that is for someone, especially just getting into the gym, or they have hit a plateau?
I never logbook when I was a kid, when I first got into the gym, and I am where I am now, so I wouldn't say it's an absolute fundamental at that time. However, the further and further you get into it and the more serious you want to take it, I think it definitely is essential.
Same with food, or would you say it's the same situation? Only when you start getting serious, you need to start tracking.
So I can use work as an example here. So basically, at the minute, where separating my online coaching business to my full-time job at the gym, it's 2 very different approaches. So I use macros, and everything is bodybuilding style diets, in the sense that you eat what I tell you to eat, and it is calculated to your body. Whereas the gym is calorie based.
Right.
I think, dependent on the person, if you're already in decent shape and you want to get better, you have to take it that little bit more serious. If you're way out of shape, you could probably gain a lot of progress just by cleaning your food up in general.
I feel like these days it's too easy not to.
Yeah.
You can scan things.
That's what I mean. There shouldn't really be an excuse. Like I said, like MyFitnessPal, whatever.
That's changed everything, hasn't it?
All you have to do, grab it out of the box, scan it, put it in, put it down. It takes 2 seconds. And even if it is calorie based, again, just scan it. If it's macro based, it's a little bit harder, a little bit more of a ball ache. But
just even with that, though, you can still see your nutrition. You need to be hitting them protein targets.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like that's what I mean. It should be. if at the end of the day, if your priority is is the result, then you need to be covering all bases. If it's just to make a lifestyle change and enjoy the process a little bit more, then you don't have to track it as much, or you don't have to be as regimented with it. So I think it depends on the person, really.
What's more important, logging food or logging workouts?
Oh, logging food. You probably heard it before, but I genuinely do believe it. You can't out-train a bad diet, and I did that for a year. I did that for quite a few years. For the first few years of my training, even admittedly after being a rugby player, my diet wasn't perfect. I just ate for endurance. I just ate what I wanted, and even for years afterwards, what I would have considered eating healthy, plates full of sweet potato, plates full of rice, like full packets here and there, just eating cereal bars and stuff like that, thinking, oh, it says it's healthy.
I mean, if someone asks you what have you had, like many calories, you don't know.
You don't
You're
know.
like, fuck knows.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I always trained with intensity, or what I thought was intensity, and I always ate in line with what I thought was relevant to my body. But I never knew. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I never really looked that good when I was younger. And you don't really, it's until you kind of educate yourself a little bit more that it does become apparent that it is needed.
Completely agree, because I used to be the guy that took the protein shake after the gym, because that's what you do.
Because
you take the protein shake after the gym, you got to have it within 20 minutes, or else your
massive.
workout's ruined. And now, since learning, by no means an expert, but now I'm taking protein shakes if I'm below my protein target.
Yeah, if you need to.
If I know I need to hit 2 grams per kilo.
Yeah, 100%. It's a supplement at the end of the day, isn't it? It is what it says. It's a supplement. If you don't need it, then don't supplement it.
Yeah. But it used to be straight after the gym.
Yeah,
you get it in. It's got 20 minutes.
What's
20
the
minutes.
anabolic window?
You've got an anabolic window.
20 minutes.
And like you're 21 minutes after, you're like, fuck, that workout was useless.
I literally used to think that, honestly.
Yeah. But that's what so many people still think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it was a matter of, it had to be a protein shake as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think there is a certain amount of truth behind, you should eat within an hour of after your training, just to replenish what you've lost through your glycogen stores and get that protein in there to start the regrowth and the rebuild process. But
if that's the main protein you're having for the day, it's pointless.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you're eating your whole food anyway, then you don't need that protein shake.
Yeah.
Or you're not eating it, it's just as pointless, because you're not going to get the rest in anyway. Having that one shake, fuck all.
Exactly.
You're just still common gym sites, so.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So I was looking at your Instagram and we saw that whey protein is an essential thing. We were just talking about that, but what kind of supplements do you have?
Do I use at the minute or through prep?
Through prep.
Okay, let's go both.
Right. Okay.
So we'll go normal.
On a day-to-day basis at the minute. So I use a whey protein shake at the minute. My protein, and I do like to keep my protein quite high. If I was to not use protein shakes, my food bill would be a joke. And being a personal trainer and being on my feet all the time, I can't always be seen to be scoffing food while I'm training. So it's just easy for me to kind of have a protein shake, maybe a banana, a little bit of convenience food. You know what I mean? It's easier for you to pick up a protein shake than it is to pick up a chocolate bar. Do you know what I mean? So that is one thing that I definitely do keep in my nutrition, and I do program into most people's nutrition, unless it doesn't sit well with them. My girlfriend, for example, she doesn't deal well with protein shakes just because of dairy intolerance and all that kind of thing. The whey doesn't sit nice. But that's one thing that I keep in. I wouldn't say this is definitely a necessity, but I do use a pre-workout every now and again if I fancy it. But again, same as a protein shake, it's just when.
Is it every now and again, or?
Yeah, it's literally
like. I want them every day.
Yeah. I used them through prep whenever I felt really, really bad. I tried to keep stimulants as low as possible, not because they're ridiculously bad or anything. I tried to just do it as usual, as normal as possible. If
Trying
I
not
felt
to use it as a crutch.
Yeah. I've in the past, and I know people that do it, and I've done it myself, got into a habit of taking them every session.
Yeah.
And you build a tolerance to them.
Yeah.
100%.
And you end up scooping it 2-3 times to even feel it.
And if you do it less, the days you are feeling bad, you know if you
get
have that
pronoun-
pre,
yeah, exactly. You dialed in on that one day. If you have it like once or twice a week, that one scoop, that's all you need, and you can feel that effect way better than you would be if you'd built up that tolerance.
So just going back to a protein, what would you recommend? What's your personal choice? You said My Protein.
The brand.
Yeah, sorry.
I actually have 3 different brands at the minute. Through prep, I was using Yummy Sports. It was an isolate, and it was literally 108 calories of pure protein. There was 0 carbs, 0 fat in that. Which obviously, in a prep, you can understand that the carbs and fats are kept to a minimum.
Yeah. You are on that level where 20 calories is a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So it needed to be everything. That was what I used there, because that was best for that time. It is a little bit expensive, around about £30 for a kilo, and I was taking 2 or 3 scoops a day.
Okay, so it's not lasting, yeah.
So it doesn't last, and it then does take away from what I just said, in the sense that it is meant to kind of make the food be a little bit cheaper, but in the grand scheme of things, it probably wasn't at that point. Now that calories are a little bit higher and I don't have to be as strict, I'm using 2 proteins. I've got one from Muscle Sport, which is the cinnamon crunch, which has the cinnamon parcels in. And the flavour is unreal on that, mate. If you've not tried it, you need to try it.
Not yet.
As a shake and in oats, it's unbelievable. That, for flavour, that one. But again, that is a little bit more expensive. I think it's £34 for a kilo again.
Is it a kilo?
I think it's a kilo, or maybe a little bit heavier than a kilo. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can't remember, but it's a little bit more on the expensive side. But yeah, I guess you're paying for the flavour. The one that I'm really enjoying at the minute is the Perform Wear one that is stocked by Elite. Which is a lot more cost effective and surprisingly really nice.
About 50p a serving, isn't it? Is it like 30 quid for 60 servings or something?
$34.99 I think it was. But you're getting like 66 servings in it or something, I think. So it's like just over 2 kilos for the tub.
Yeah.
So you're getting twice the amount for what you're paying for the other 2. And the flavour, although it doesn't have the cinnamon pieces, I think the cereal pieces in the flavour is good. It mixes with oats really well. It sits really nice as a shake as well. And to be honest, it's actually the lowest in calorie than the other 2. Calorie wise, if you want a calorie calculated diet, you can use that one and get more for your money. I think it's 102 calories per serving.
Compare that to the Yummy Sports.
The Yummy Sports of 108. But you're getting I think it's around 21 gram of protein per serving, 3 gram of carbs, and just under 1 gram of fat.
Right.
So you're getting a little bit more carbs and a little bit more fat, and a loss in protein.
We'll add a link to all these as well in the video,
but
in case you want to check them out.
Yeah, but for convenience and as an overall general protein, that's the one that I'm using, and that's the one that I intend to carry on using for the next few months, I would imagine. I have only tried the one flavour in that. I have tried every flavour of the Yummy Sports. I have only tried the one flavour, which is the chocolate peanut butter in the Perform Wear.
Is it decent?
Yeah, it's good, man. Really, really good. I'm a boring guy. I like to stick with like chocolate based stuff just because I like to put it in oats, and I don't really have a massive sweet tooth, to be honest. So like the candy flavour ones, like the Yummy Charms, they don't really interest me.
Right.
Some people with a really sweet tooth, then obviously maybe you could try them ones. But I think the Perform Way also have like a lemon cheesecake and like a raspberry ripple or something like that.
That's it. Everyone's on these weird flavours.
Yeah, but they also have like the vanilla ice cream flavour or all the standard stuff. I prefer to stick to that just because I know what I'm getting. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, it goes in oats well. So that's the one that I'm using at the minute, and that's the one that I intend on carrying on using from Elite. I can just pop down and get it anyway, so it's easier than ordering it offline.
Easy enough. And pre-workout wise, where are we going?
Pre-workout, at the minute, I actually have Stimmy Max by Strong, and I swear by that one. Vascumax as well, another great one. I use them through prep. I actually ran out of Vascumax recently, and I just fancied changing to something else because I'm being nosy.
Just to switch it up.
Yeah. I still have a Stimmy Max at home. I also have MV Pre by Innova Farm. That's one of the best ones I've tried. For me, I'm less of a stim based pre user, and I like a focus. I like to focus. I like to be dialed in rather than buzzing.
We still yet to try that one.
Yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with it. You won't be going running 10Ks, but you'll feel like in the zone, which is what I would like to be in the gym. Pump wise, I still stick by Vascumax, to be honest with you. I've heard good things about the Alpha Lion one though.
I've heard that actually. 1 minute.
Stop knocking that as well.
Fuck off. Dying here.
I've heard good things about the Alpha Lion one.
I've seen that because Elite are out of MVP, aren't they?
Yes.
So he's been plugging that quite a bit.
Yeah. The
And Berserk.
And Berserk.
Yeah,
I don't think it's all it's knocked up to be. I don't know whether it's because I've used quite a few pre's recently.
That seems quite stim heavy. I won't be relying on that stim in that one.
I'm not, like I say, I'm not a massive stim person. But I have heard that people who took it have been like scared to go in the gym because they've had the shakes because it's been that brutal.
Oh shit.
But I think
so it's hard hitting.
Paul was actually telling me the other day that he sold it to a guy, and the guy took it and he was in the changing room. He didn't want to go into the gym because he was like that buzzing off his tits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Paul lifts some big weights as well, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Some of his deadlifts.
Yeah. He's in
200.
like a strength gaining phase or like an off season in sense, even though he's not a bodybuilder. He's trying to gain that little bit of size and a bit of strength there. So, but yeah, he's doing well. Turned down Strength Factory, I think.
He does, just not far from here. Well, actually, it's not far from mine.
West Horton.
West Horton, yeah. He's just on the A6.
It's not far from me, to be honest.
Fucking dying, you know. In terms of other supplements, what we taking?
At the minute, minimal. To be honest, like I say, I'm not a massive supplement user if I don't need to. They are a supplement for a reason. The two that I stick by again is the protein powder and a pre if I need to. I am probably going to keep in when my training goes up and the weight goes up and it starts to become more stressful on my body, the Support Max by Strom. That was a massive one for prep for me. It's one of the best and most valuable supplements that I bought, and I have advised people to take it who feel particularly anxious or feel particularly stressed, and I have heard good reviews back from it and have said that it's worked wonders for them. But in prep, I was covering all bases. I was on cyclic dextrin for intra workouts, creatine, EAAs, Pepto-Pro. I was taking all your health subs that you would be in the morning, pre's if I needed to, protein
And that's when
powder.
you need to be taking this, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is when it's needed competition prep, not
That's what
people are more interested in the supplements they're taking than the training and diet.
Yeah,
You get giddy,
100%.
don't you, when you go in a supplement store, 'cause it's like the adult toy store.
A lot of people rely on this thing and thinks that it's going to be this like, secret to how you get your goals that much quicker. Most of these people don't have the basics nailed down, the diet and the training.
They're still hitting an arm day.
Yeah, they're still hitting an arm day and they're probably still eating, 2,000 calories more than they're meant to a day. Do you know what I mean?
Why am I not shredded?
Yeah, not shredded.
Why?
Put the Mackies down, mate. Do you know what I mean? But
You going?
Yeah.
This has got 5%.
Yeah. We're near the bottom.
We're not. We're here.
We're covered here. That's been covered.
Okay.
Obviously, competing affects a lot of like day-to-day life and stuff like that. Yeah. You said your family support you and all that stuff. They support you for rugby. What have they been like through competing and how have they reacted and all that stuff?
In the beginning, my mum was sceptical about it because, like any mum would be, for their son to do competitive bodybuilding.
Yeah.
She had her doubts and whatnot. But again, like I said, they were always supporting and supportful in that sense. She just wants me to be happy at the end of the day, happy and healthy, and as long as that's what I'm doing, she's not really too fussed. I don't see my family a lot just because I'm away from home. I'm originally from Cumbria, and down here I see them once every few months.
Right.
And I speak to them like a couple of times a week, maybe just a quick chat. But yeah, it does take a lot of It does add a lot of extra stress onto other things. It does take a lot of your time, and you do have to sacrifice quite a lot for it. But again, in a sense, it's all about how far you want to take it. If you just want to go on stage and give yourself a little bit of a challenge, you don't have to take it that serious. For me, who wants to take it to the next level, and who believes that if you're going to compete, it's not a hobby at this stage, or a sport, whatever you want to call it, that I would advise anyone to do, unless you want to be willing to sacrifice a lot for a very little gain. Especially in the first few years, like I've gained very little other than my first place trophy and how it's affected my business. But I've had to invest a lot into it, and it does make home life and work life stressful at times. It is hard to balance, and I know a lot of people saying, you probably heard it yourself, find the balance. Sometimes it is a lot harder than you think to find that.
So people who are thinking maybe competing, maybe not, what they're kind of on the fence, what would you say? What have you learned from starting and going into it? What would you say is the main thing you've kind of...
What's the main thing it fucks up?
Yeah.
I think first of all, one thing I would say is make sure why you're doing it. If you have a good enough reason, then why not? But if you're just doing it for the sake of it, I wouldn't advise it. That's for one thing. For me, because it's such a selfish sport, whether you're a selfish person or not, you do become a selfish person in respect. And if you don't, you're probably not giving it the attention that it needs. Having a girlfriend who also competed for the first time this year.
Just getting on to that next.
Did
that make it easier or harder?
It depends on the day.
Right, okay.
I think last time round, she didn't understand at all, and I was for quite a long time admittedly a selfish person, and she didn't understand the sacrifice and the attention to detail that it needed.
Right, and thinking you competed on the same day?
This time round, yeah. Yeah, this time round, yeah. So last time round I did a prep on my own. This time round she competed as well, and she's a lot more understanding of the process, and she now understands how difficult it actually is. But on the flip side, when you live under the same roof with someone who is equally as stressed, equally as anxious, and being equally as selfish as you, it is hard sometimes. So it has its pros and cons. You are more understanding, but sometimes
if you're both having a bad day,
when you're deep into a prep, you can't control your emotions as well as you would be able to if you were full of food and high on energy. Do you know what I mean? And one thing that I've noticed a lot more recently is my work life has been a lot less stressful as well. It's been a lot easier to handle, and I've felt way more energetic with work. Just anything, like no matter how hard you try to remain balanced or calm in any whatever it is you do, when you're not feeding your body enough to even train, feeding enough to your body to even do the cardio, never mind do everything, all your day-to-day tasks, deal with people on a regular basis. As a PT, obviously you have to withhold a certain amount of...
Would it not make you frustrated if you're in this level of prep, you're cutting your calories right down, and then you're in the gym and someone's there telling you, oh, well, I'm feeling a bit low last night, so I had a Domino's. So I was like, I had it, and I was like, I just felt a bit guilty.
Mate, the amount of times I almost lost my head, honestly, so many times.
Like, but for fuck's sake, I've had nothing to eat.
Yeah, I am quite a level-headed person, honestly, but the amount of times that people are like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, mate, you're a girl, and I'm eating less calories than you, and I'm doing an hour of cardio. You've got nothing to moan about.
Shut up.
Yeah, you've got nothing to moan about. But
luckily, you're at a gym where you can say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like bodybuilders, it's a weird sadistic thing, and you do it to yourself, so you don't really have an excuse.
You've got to where you are now. You've just won your competition. You're going on holiday. What's your plans? Future plans? What's next?
So, I won the Northwest competition 3 weeks ago. I had the invite to the British and I automatically qualified for the Worlds as well. I decided not to do them. Now again, from the outside, someone could say, why? And it's because I'm trying to think of the bigger picture. At the time, I was finding it hard to balance my work life and my normal day-to-day life, and I wanted to kind of get that back on track for one. But the biggest deciding factor for me was I competed with Naba, and me having the end goal of being a pro bodybuilder, me knowing and seeing through social media and through person to person, like seeing people in real life or whatnot, I know that there's guys in different federations like that are leagues above me in terms of where they are, and if I want to compete with them guys, chasing another trophy isn't what I would consider the smartest move.
In this sport, self-reflection's got to be so important.
Yeah.
We've come across it, people who are completely deluded.
Yeah.
Who are going to enter these competitions, and you think you've put in all this work, you've made the sacrifices, but it's not. You're not going to come out with a win, and then they get upset and almost comes across as bitter in the aftermath.
I think
it's always the judges who's got it wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking a step back, having a look and think, right, well, I've won this one.
Yeah.
Let's get ready for the next.
Yeah, I think you've got to be, like I said, if you give it 100%, then you have every reason to be confident, but you've also got to be realistic in a sense that I wouldn't now jump on a 2 bros stage because I know for a fact that I'd be embarrassed. And a lot of people probably would, but I like to be realistic with myself, and that's why I've took a step back now, and I want to take the next 12 months to... I say 12 months, I'm not putting a time limit on it. Ideally 12 months, I'd probably like to get back on stage again next year, and I can imagine the itch will be there once I see people competing again to jump back on stage.
Would you have to re-qualify? Would you have to enter a lower level competition to get to that stage again?
I'd have to compete again,
right?
Again to get to where I want to be again. But to be honest with you, the problem that I have with Naba is that I was at the top end limit of my weight category anyway. With Classic, it was a height to weight ratio, so I was allowed to be a certain weight for my height. I was only 0.8 of a kilo underneath my weight bracket.
What was that?
I competed at 85.
Okay.
Which is low for me.
Not a lot at all.
That's probably the lowest I've been since I was about 15. But I know PCA don't have a weight limit in Classic, so it might be a smarter move to PCA.
You can see two people the exact same height who weigh the same and look completely different.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's my next move. I think to move to a different federation, try and do well in that. I think now that I've won first, I wouldn't like to slip back to less than first. That's why I only want to get back on stage when I know that I can do that.
Chasing perfection.
Yeah, anything less than first now, and I would be disappointed with myself. Although I'm taking a step higher, or want to take a step higher, I don't want to be second. So whatever that takes to get that, whether it's 12 months down the line, 24 months down the line, 18 months down the line, whatever it is, I'll jump back on stage when I think that I'm ready.
Patience.
Yeah, I think that's what it takes. Like you said, you can get in, like I said, going back to that question before, can anyone get in shape in 16 weeks? Yes. You can't gain muscle in 16 weeks. It takes a lot longer than that. Or, well, a decent amount of muscle anyway. For what I want to gain, I think it's going to take me at least 12 months to gain what I want to be. And I think that's the good thing about Classic, like we spoke about before. I want to bring a physique to the stage that I'm happy with. I don't really want to kind of fit within the category guidelines, if that makes sense. If I'm happy with how I look, then I'll walk away happy anyway.
Almost quite limited in that sense. If they've set where you can be, if you're not, you think you can bring more. Yeah. That's what I mean. I think, like I said, that first trophy down there says that them judges have told me that I'm good enough to win first place. But I'm still not happy with how I look. Right. So, to me, as much as that means the world to me, and I didn't expect to get that first place trophy, and that is like better than I ever expected to get this year, considering I wasn't going to get on stage at all. Me being a self-critical person and trying to, like I said,
be a bit of a perfectionist and aim for that next level. I know that I've got work to do, and that's why I'm now taking this time to focus on that.
Cool.
Has it died?
No, but that's not.
No, it's not.
Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
So, where can people find you online then? If people want to follow you?
Go back. I want to go into this. In terms of where you work, can we go into that? Because it is definitely one of the hot points in the fitness industry in the UK at the moment.
Yeah. So I'm a PT at Real Life Health and Fitness in Bolton. If you haven't seen it, get on it.
It's something you won't have seen.
Yeah.
It's new.
It's new. It's hot. It's there's a hype definitely behind it. I think anyone that's seen it will be on it probably, or.
You've got an opinion on it either way.
Yeah.
It's one of them. You don't come away from it thinking, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, you either love it or you hate it. It's my way.
Everyone's got something to say.
But it's in the limelight for a reason. Yeah.
Results.
It's getting bigger and bigger. I think the gym's been there for what I think it's 16, 18 months now. I think Tyler, the owner's brought it up from the ground level, from being a PT at a commercial gym to me taking all his clients and putting them in a park, making them do boot camps outside, to building this gym from one floor to 2 floors, to having no equipment or very limited equipment, to now having a pretty kitted gym with hundreds of clients. We now have, I think it's 8 or 9 PTs in there as well. Me and myself being there for 3 or 4 months now. Yeah, the place is booming. It's a good place to work.
What's unique about it? Why has everyone got an opinion?
It's no holds barred. There's no filter. If you see it on Instagram, it's exactly how it is. So don't see one thing and expect something else. It's exactly what you see on the front cover. It's just saying it's people come to be boosted, put it that way. People come to be told. People come to be told.
Look like you get told.
And people come to be offended, put it that way. But I think a lot of people, like, that's a good thing. People who know and people who sign up know what they're in for, and they're there for a reason, which makes the job easier for us as a PT. A lot of the people that come to us come to work, and that's the good thing about it.
Definitely a certain clientele.
Yes.
How are we going into that? It's looked like sponsored by Gymshark Women.
Yeah,
which isn't good for us.
No, it's not great for us.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. However, it is female dominated.
Yes, it is. I'd probably say
the best dressed gym.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
in the world, apart from like LA.
Yeah.
Like everyone's in matching sets.
Yeah, they are, mate. It's heavily dominated by the women. But to be fair, there's all age ranges in there, from all walks of life. Some people that have never been to the gym before. I've got plenty of clients that have never been to the gym, but I've also got clients that have been training for ages. That's the good thing about the gym. We accommodate everyone.
And it's taking away that stereotype of girls. If you lift weights, you're gonna look like you're competing in female bodybuilding.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think the good thing about it as well is what you'll find in the gym. Everyone's just themselves. Everyone brings something different to the table. So everyone's come from a different walk of life. Like, I'm the bodybuilder. You've got Ash and Zach that are there. They're military based. You've got Kim, the female PT. You've got Amy as well from a Pilates background. You've got the new PTs as well, bringing something else to the table. And you've got Tyler, the owner. All just bringing something a little bit different, which is good. So we're covering all bases, really.
One of the most popular things I'm seeing at the minute is the booty camp.
Yeah.
That's...
Well,
Oh, we're good. We're good. Still good.
That's the GoPro.
What's that mean? I'll just check it. We'll restart that bit. Is yours still good?
Yeah.
Does it just need pressing again?
Probably.
Probably like a 30-minute recording. Has it died?
I think so. It's alright. I don't know. We're not going to use this footage.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Alright, sweet.
There you go.
what were we at? I forgot.
Just going back. So we were just saying the beauty camp at Real Life Health and Fitness is insanely popular.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, the clientele is heavily female based, and what female doesn't want a bum at the end of the day? It's It's a big thing these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having the peach,
Yeah.
shall we say. So, yeah, it's really good. Tyler's got his own booty plan that he does online, but we also have the booty boot camp at the gym, which is a class. We've got a lot of things for all sorts of things in there, so it's everything from heavy heat thrusts to a lot of band work and accessory work like that as well.
Do you feel like it's working more because as a group you're not afraid to say what people are wanting to hear?
Yeah.
You couldn't say what's being said at a commercial gym. You couldn't say you're gonna get an arse.
No.
You can't. You just that wouldn't be allowed. Be gone.
Yeah.
Whereas here you can say that's what girls want to hear. Well, that's what the people who are signing up to it want to hear.
People, no matter what anyone says, people like honesty and people like knowing what they're getting. So like I said, whatever you see on Instagram is what you get. So when you come in, you're not surprised. You're getting your value for money because you know what you're signing up for, which is why it works.
No one's forcing anyone to go.
No.
You don't have to train there if you don't want.
No,
but yeah, it's fucking rammed.
If you want to come to the gym and you want to cry...
Why is your phone on?
It's not my phone, it's my mic. It needs to be on.
Is it one of the Goonies?
Yeah.
If they ring...
It's muted now.
Right.
That's my watch that.
What's that one?
It's just the Apple Watch. For some reason I had the water lock on it. I don't know how I managed to do that, but whatever.
Where were we up to?
Booty boot camp.
Booty boot camp.
You don't have to go if you don't want to. That's what
Yes. So we were just saying you don't have to. No one's forcing you to go. If you don't want to go, don't go. But it's rammed.
Yeah, I think we market it well. Like I said, it's everything is honest. Everything you're coming in, you know what you're getting. So that's what people come for. If you come for results and you come to be worked hard, and you come to get your money's worth, then Real Life is the place to go. You can go to David Lodge, you can go to Virgin Media, and all the PTs are sat on their phones chilling, all there for money. Whereas these guys are all coming from different walks of life, extreme walks of life. Like Ash and Zach are both ex-military. Ash almost died 3 times. You know, he's been in Afghanistan. He almost died 3 times. Couldn't walk. Had massive surgery all over his legs, and he couldn't even literally get out of a wheelchair. And now the guy's in the gym smashing cardio 40 minutes with a oxygen mask on. Not oxygen mask, the
Altitude mask.
Altitude mask. Sorry. So, like I said, going back to being to practicing what you preach, the guys there have all been there and done it.
So really, you couldn't be anywhere better at the moment.
I believe so. Yeah, I don't believe anywhere in the area is doing what we do at the minute.
I've not seen anything. Like I said, I've seen some similar things in the US from mechanics, but over here, everyone's too scared.
100%. It's one of them. It's like it's not a commercial gym, so you can't just walk in off the street and have Joe Bloggs training, taking up the equipment. It's the guys you're in there for PT or you're in there for a class, and that's it. So the people that come in, I keep saying guys, it's mostly girls, but I mean guys in general. The people that are in there know what they're coming for, and they come in for a beasting, and that's why most of the people walk out of there with what they want, unless they're the kind of person that likes the idea of getting the end goal but doesn't enjoy the journey. Most people who leave and don't get their want is because they can't hack it.
It's the only time I've seen recently the fucking influence that you guys have at that gym is with these fucking Cocoa Pops. For a start, he didn't say what the fuck they were for about a month.
Yeah.
And you've got people like, you talk about a social media influencer that gets paid or sent shit to promote.
Yeah.
These guys and girls are buying fucking Cocoa Pops and they didn't know why for 2 months and they're still doing it.
Yeah, 100%. You think he's just put a video up explaining why.
I've just seen it and I was like...
What was it? What was the reason why?
Fast absorbing. So almost how you have like dextrose with a protein. Something like that.
Yeah.
But better tasting.
Yeah, 100%. So it's low carb, but it's high carb, low fat, easily digestible, straight in.
But if you didn't see, people were picking up boxes as soon as he was saying it. Like,
just
like literally, he wasn't selling them himself. Like, that is what like an influencer is. Someone who can say that and people are
And
going buying
have the whole
fucking
county,
Cocoa
the
Pops.
whole county eating Cocoa Pops.
And no one's knowing why.
No, man, and I get it. It's just a joke, man.
And don't get me wrong, I've been there, I've seen some of his stories and shared to other people and gone, he's a bit of a knob at times.
To be honest with you, mate, even if you've seen it, you'd probably laugh and say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. However, they're fucking funny and everyone talks about
Yeah,
it.
mate,
So
exactly,
it works.
exactly. It works, 100%.
Personal favourite, the girls going sniffing lines after a night out and going to afters.
Yeah, that video was a joke, honestly.
That made its way around.
Yeah, 100%. You won't eat a piece of broccoli, but you'll put a dirty dick in your mouth.
There we go. Put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt, mate. Tyler, there's your next business adventure.
But yeah, so that gym, I think it could be big. It's big anyway. But
Yeah,
there's
100%.
There's something there, isn't
It's
there?
like from where it's
And
come
it's just
from.
starting.
From where it's come from in its first 2 years, from like I say, Tyler being in the park to where it's at now. There's no reason. If it
The market
continues-
speaks, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. If
Makes
it carries
sense.
on the way it's going, I can't see why it just can't get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I hope it does.
People will be better. People who are better is because they're not doing what as well as what he's doing.
It's completely different to anything you've seen before. Like you say, you haven't seen anything like this anywhere in the UK that I know of. I don't know of anywhere that's doing it as well. Like you
Not
say,
on that level.
no.
You're going to see a lot of imitators.
So people
They'll
come for something different and something that works at the end of the day.
And if it didn't work, they won't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Always go off the market. If it's there, it's there. If
Exactly.
it's dead, it's not going to work. But
Exactly. It's at the point now where we're absolutely full. We can't fit people in, and that's the demand's there. If you want in, you have to wait.
that's it.
Yeah. You're talking about getting an extra floor for the gym.
Potentially, I think. I don't know how far along it is, but I'd imagine, like I say, if it keeps growing, it will have to.
Yeah.
Eventually. Just with with the demand for it. If it got bigger and bigger and bigger, if it was to double the gym, the size that it is now, not that it's a small gym, but if it was to double, it wouldn't cope with the demand. You know what I mean? So it would have to grow.
Yeah.
It's only going to get bigger, and I think it will get bigger.
I think you're going to get a lot of people looking it up after this who've not seen it before. Especially like most people, they're from around here who's going to watch it. So if they've not already known about it, they're going to see it.
Yeah.
But you can't even get in at the moment.
No, not at the minute. I think we've got a waiting list. It's
That's
one
got to
in,
be
one
the
out.
only gym who I know who's got a fucking waiting list.
Yeah, it's the benefit of having it as like a closed gym. That you can't walk in off the street, like I said. So it's one in, one out. If I've got, like I said, like for example, now I put in the group this morning, I've got prime time slot come available 7 p.m. It'll be gone by, well, this afternoon. I'd imagine.
Any celebrities?
There at the minute. Celebrity. Oh, depends what your class as a celebrity. I think Holly from Geordie Shore was on about coming.
Okay.
Whether she has, I haven't seen her there yet.
That'll be the next step.
Yeah, we've got plenty of people like famous people messaging the gym and whatnot, saying they want to train there and whatnot. But
Some big influences.
there's plenty of don't get me wrong, high level social media influencers that come in there. People with 30,000 upwards of 100,000 followers on Instagram on there.
One with 1 million, isn't there?
Yeah,
Mitch.
yeah. Mitch, yeah, actually, Mitch,
Sister
yeah.
knows Mitch.
Mitch, yeah. You
Friends with him.
got P. Louise as well.
Yeah.
Makeup artist.
Yep.
Like I said, Holly from Geordie Shore. You got a girl called Kendall from Monaco. She's married to the guy who wants My Protein.
Okay.
She is Miss something. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Right. She's got a title.
Yeah, she's Miss something, like some sort of swimwear model or something like that. She got a big influence, a big social media influence following there.
So it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But like I said, that's because of the marketing and the reach that it has. These people are obviously seeing it and thinking I need to be there. And like I said, this Kendall, she actually lives from here, between here and Monaco, and she flies back from Monaco to come to the gym.
Shit.
Genau.
You've got people travelling like 2 or 3 hours just for one-off session. It's mad. It is mad.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Where
Cheers,
can
man.
people find you?
My pleasure. I'm quite active on Instagram. Brad Lawrence, 2 E's at the end. That's my Instagram. Facebook, through the Real Life page, if you want to follow me through that, it's absolutely fine.
We'll tag both in it.
Yeah.
Might see him in some videos soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Doing some things together. Got some mutual contacts. So
100%.
Would work well.
Definitely. Definitely keep in contact and do some stuff together. So you might see me here again.
You never know.
Twitter not so much. I don't really use that.
Instagram.
Instagram's the place to be.
Same with us.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
We're not on Twitter
We don't
yet.
have
We
Twitter.
are going to be on. It's on the bags.
I do have it, but it's just
Is it on our bags?
Yeah, it's on our shipping bags. We haven't got an account yet.
yeah, man. Instagram. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Spot on.